Hello and welcome back. My name's Andrew Keeping and today we're going to look at something quite different. I've had quite a few requests to talk about the actual nails, and that means a combination of how to take care of your nails, the best shape for your nails to contact the string to be able to produce the most beautiful tone. So let's dive in and let's find out everything that we can about nail care, nail contact with the string, and how to get that perfect tone. Right, so using the nails can totally transform your tone. When the nails are shaped correctly and cared for appropriately, and then you apply the correct right hand technique and angle of contact with the string, it will transform your tone. Now we're going to try something. I've said to students in the past that a cheap guitar, an expensive guitar, it really doesn't matter. If you've got the right tools in the right hand, you can still produce a good quality sound. Now, I'm going to use this as an example. My guitar here is worth quite a lot of money. I had it custom built for me by Trevor Semple, the great British guitar luthier. And I had it customized to my exact scale, dimensions, and everything that I wanted out of the instrument. And I'm delighted with this guitar. It produces the most beautiful sounds. But I can play this Now I've got quite a new set of strings on here. I use Guitarist strings, or I am at the moment, and these strings are quite new. They're settled, but they're good quality strings. So that produces that, along with my shape of my nails, the care of the nails. I've really looked after my nails. They're nicely buffed and polished, so they're going to produce a good sound. However, let's try this. This is a basic level Serenata guitar. As you can see, it's one that we leave out at the school that I teach at, and it's one that the kids pick up, they knock it, they bang it around. The strings haven't been changed for quite some time, but let's put into practice. This guitar is probably worth about £15. My guitar is worth considerably more, but I'm still able to produce a decent sound out of that guitar. Why? Well, it all comes down to our right-hand nails. By contrast, I could have split broken nails. I could be playing on a very expensive instrument, but I can still produce the most awful sound. It's harsh, it's thin, it's not utilising the best techniques. Get the right nail shape, care for your nails appropriately, you can get the best possible sound from your instrument. Let's see how. Brass and wind players use their embouchure, string players, their bows and bowing techniques. Keyboard players, all they have to do is just press a note. It's a no-brainer, it's easy. Or do they? Singers, they have to use their diaphragm to be able to project the sound. They use the muscles in their throat to be able to control the amount of vibrato they use and the tone as well. So it's so important to be able to understand your technique. Some guitarists prefer long nails, others prefer short. For my own method, my nails sometimes, if they go too long, they start to curl over at the end. So I've found over the years that I like to keep them pretty short. Every guitarist, every human being, in fact, will have a different shape and consistency to their nail, but the principles are all the same. When I was starting out, I was advised to use a product called tough nail or hard nail. and it was like a gelatine substance that you would put on your nail, and it would over time strengthen the nail. Now, it's quite expensive, but I was also advised by my old guitar teacher, Oliver Hunt. He said, jelly babies, a quarter pound of jelly babies every single day. So religiously, after my paper round, I went and bought a quarter pound of jelly babies. Okay, you might put on a bit of weight, but boy, do you end up with good nails. Does that actually work? Do you know what? I don't know, is the honest truth. What I did find was that my nails did improve. It did get better. They became stronger. Gelatine, you can get one of those bars of jelly and just eat that, or you can just get gelatine and rub it into your fingers. A lot of people have a lot of different theories on this subject. But you know what? I think probably the most useful and productive bit of advice that I can give you is just a healthy diet. First of all, drink plenty of fluids, because keeping your body hydrated keeps your nails hydrated, and therefore they become less brittle and less susceptible to breakages and cracks and splits and chipping. So a good healthy diet, fit and healthy, it's the answer to most things, isn't it? Well, I'm afraid to say, or I'm not afraid to say, it's the same thing here. Also, consistent nail care will really help. There are a variety of products on the market that you can use to shape and buff, and I would suggest experiment to find the best for you. I'm still experimenting some 30 years later, but I still come back to that £1 nail file and buffer that I can get in any supermarket store. There are many products on the market that you can find and look for that will do the job for you. Luthier do a cloth nail file, and they do papers as well. You can get a 3-level nail buffer, 400, 600, and you've got your diamond files. All of these work really, really well. So look at the angle of the nail under the file. If you want to find that perfect angle, one method that was shown to me a while ago that actually is a really good method. Get one of these papers, it's a graded sandpaper for nail files particularly. Put it under a string, under your first string, and then just play at the angle that you would play across the string. Do a couple of those, and you can see exactly the shape and where you need to dig in. So dig in right where you would with your right hand technique and scrape across. Do it with each finger, and you get the exact angle across the string, thus. Then we're going to start buffing and polishing in decreasing grades of cloth or buffer. What we're doing, we are polishing the nail to get the smoothest, almost glass-like feel. Imagine if you were looking through a microscope at all the ridges as you glide across the string. The tone would reflect that inconsistent, jagged scraping. However, if you glide a perfectly polished nail across a smooth string, the tone will be full-bodied, clean, and project that sound that we're looking for. Just a note, the more you buff and polish the edge of your nail, the smoother and the stronger those nails become as well. It seals up the moisture into those nails, and also it prevents them from getting those little nicks that cause splits and deteriorate within the nail bed. These days, I very rarely break a nail. In fact, I'm a family man, so I'm at home with the kids and I do DIY at home. There's lots of opportunities to break your nails, but if you take care of your nails, you're less likely to chip them, catch them. But if you do catch them or cause some little nick, deal with it immediately. Don't leave it, because that's when you're going to catch on something, and that's when it's going to cause greater damage to the nail. If I've got a series of concerts coming up, I do wear gloves. I make sure that I'm wearing gloves if I'm in any situation where I'm likely to damage my nails. It's a precaution. This is my career. This is what I do. So I have to use those precautions. But if the worst happens and you do break a nail, there are plenty of solutions. I've been on tour in the past and I was picking my suitcase off the carousel at the airport and I just caught my nail and it hit a hard point and it just chipped the end of that nail. My manager who was with me at the time, Denny Lister, I said to him, could you try and find me a ping pong ball, please? Yeah, I got a weird look from him. And I said, the thing is, it's the same consistency as my nail. And if I cut it up and I shape it and I place it on the top of my existing nail, I can glue it and put it in place and that will have the same sort of consistency. It won't change the tone too dramatically. And so that's what we did. And that resolved the issue for that tour. I've tried acrylics at nail bars, false cheap nails, etc. But they ruin the nail beneath and delay the process of regrowth as well. So for acoustic guitar players and steel string jazz guitarists, they don't mind the tone. But for me personally, on a nylon string, I have to say I don't like the acrylic sound against the nails. So I never thought I'd be that precious or knowledgeable about nail care. But it's my job. And it's the final piece in the jigsaw puzzle to producing that perfect tone on the guitar. See how you get on. There's plenty of other tutorials online that will help you with your nail care. It's more about you finding what works for you. I wish you luck with that, and I'll see you next time.